Why do I personally believe in the Quran? People say that this is the literal word of God, but is it really? Now, I'm not here to preach. I just want you to become a Muslim. I just want to let you know why I personally do think this is the word of God. And no, it's not blind belief. In my opinion, it's all logical. Let me explain. Now, before we really open the book and look into the text, does it claim that it's from God or not? Because if it does claim that it's from God, then it is from God. Case closed. But for real, if you want to investigate if this book is from God or not, it has to at least say that it is from God for you to start investigating. Harry Potter, is it the word of God? You're probably going to say no.
It is.
Why? Because it didn't even claim that it's from God. This book claims that it's the word of God and it's the manual for your life. So it does say that it's the word of God. So what? Now the next step, do we actually have the original text or not? I mean, it's been 1400 years. There's an exact copy of the Quran in the same language in the Birmingham Museum that dates back to the source 1400 years ago.
You're looking at one of the oldest fragments of the Quran ever discovered.
Now that's cool. But what makes it more cool is that it's not the main source of transmission. It's mainly transmitted orally, unlike any other book. For 1400 years, people memorized the entire book cover to cover in the same exact language. And every Muslim on this planet does agree on the same text. So basically go to any country in the world, Arab or non-Arab, and visit any mosque or any gathering. Start reciting any verse of the Quran and make a tiny mistake. You're gonna see a Muslim that'll be like,
"That's not how you pronounce that."
It's like the alphabetics. It's like standing in public and instead of saying A, B, C, D, you say A, Z, B, F. Everybody will be like,
What?
If you burn every Quran on this planet, Muslims are gonna get back and write it again because they memorize it. Now that's amazing, but is that it? No. And we have the names and detailed biographies of the people that heard the Quran from the source all the way back to now. This person heard it from this person, heard it from. Were they good people? Were they honest people? Did they lie? Did they forget? Detailed description about them. This is the most detailed transmission than any book in history. Surprisingly, the Quran says, "It is we who sent down the Quran, and surely we will guard it." It's literally challenging mankind that it's going to stay preserved and it's going to stay relevant. Okay, it does claim that it's from God, and we do know that it's preserved. But is it really from God or not? Now we open it. It tells you and it challenges you that it's going to have zero contradictions. It says, do they ponder the Quran? Had it been from anyone other than Allah, they would have found in it many contradictions. It challenges people to find any. Why is that a problem? Because a contradiction is an error, and God makes no error. Interestingly, the word contradiction is only found once in the Quran. Now, obviously, there are a lot more reasons, but I'm just going to end it with scientific facts that are impossible for the source to know 1400 years ago. Now, if you're walking 1400 years ago and look at clouds, how are you going to describe them? If you look at mountains, how are you going to describe mountains? Clouds are, I don't know, light, floating. Mountains are huge and strong, rigid. But the Quran describes clouds as heavy. Now we know that clouds weigh millions of pounds, and mountains are described as stakes or pegs. And now we know that mountains have deep roots into this earth. And you see the mountains thinking they're rigid while they pass the passing of the clouds. It's the work of Allah that perfected all things. And now we know that mountains and all of us are moving. Now I'm just giving you 3 quick ones. There are a lot. Anyways, a lot of people when they hear the word Quran, it just comes with a baggage. I would just suggest, just remove all the stereotyping and pick up one and maybe read it. Again, it does not tell you to follow it blindly. It tells you Iqra, read. It emphasizes and focuses a lot on not just following what your ancestors believed. Now, if you want a free copy of the Quran with English translation, check the description or DM me. I'll try to hook you up. Have a good day. Goodbye.